Hi everybody, today we're going to talk about mobility and the length of time it takes to get said mobility. Look, I get lots of patients that come into the office and they lack range of motion. And yes, sometimes I can get better range of motion, but I'm getting range of motion because I'm doing the muscle work and I'm working with the nervous system. But that's not permanent. The homework that I give you is permanent, right? It's you deliberately getting into those active ranges of motion. What I gave you was passive range of motion. And that's what other therapists are giving you when they're working on your muscle and they're working on your nervous system, and all of a sudden you have 10 degrees or 20 degrees or 30 degrees more range of motion in your shoulders or your hips. That's it. It's very passive, it's fleeting. Oftentimes it'll come right back to your normal range of motion the next day. It's very temporary. What I'm talking about here is that mobility takes time. You have to deliberately go into those ranges of motion and deliberately go into those uncomfortable zones that you don't like to go into. Passive range of motion is great. It's great in a therapist side because it allows us to teach you the things that you need to teach in the proper ranges of motion. But for you to actually permanently have that, that's all on you. And this goes more to the fact of, what kind of relationship do you have with your body? Do you have a one-night stand kind of relationship with your body? Or do you have a marriage with your body? Because people who have marriages with their bodies are committed to their bodies. They're committed to do the things that they need to do on a daily basis to make their bodies go and do the things that they need to do. And it takes every single day and deliberate practice every single day to get that range of motion. You can't take it for granted, because I promise you, if you go like 2, 3 weeks, 4 weeks without doing active ranges of motion and doing the stretches and doing the things that I've asked you to do, then you're going to lose it. You know, I have gymnasts that were high-level gymnasts when they were teenagers, and now that they're 30 or 40 and they don't have that range of motion anymore. And it's because they don't practice it. They don't give the body the stimulus to be able to go into those ranges of motion. You have to be able to control those ranges of motion. And you have to be committed to practicing those ranges of motion all of the time. So I ask you, again, what kind of relationship do you have with your body? Do you have a one-night stand relationship, or do you have a marriage? Because the people who have marriages always see the results in their body that they want to see because they work on it. If you have any more questions, please don't hesitate to give me a shout out on Twitter, which is at @thesportspod, or you can find me on Instagram @sportspod, or you can just hashtag me, Ask Dr. Wu. All right, I'll talk to you guys later. Cheers.